Hi guys, it's Nyah. Welcome and welcome back to my channel, and if you're new here, welcome. If you are new here, be sure to subscribe to my channel and also turn on your post notifications so that you don't miss my new uploads. So for today's video, I am going to be sharing with you guys 10 things you should do to make this school year easier on yourself. School can be very hard, very stressful, and I know how stressful it can be. So I put together some tips and tricks that you guys can do and implement to help you have a better school year or even a better semester if you found last semester to be pretty rough on your mental health, because school can be stressful. As a student myself, I know how stressful it can be. So I just wanted to share some tips with you guys that you can implement in order to take some stress off of yourself so that you just don't feel as anxious when it comes to schoolwork and things like that. So I wrote everything down on my phone and we are just going to hop straight into this. So my first tip is to make a routine, whether that be a morning routine, a study routine, it doesn't really matter. Make sure that you make routines for yourself and follow those routines in order to keep yourself on track. I've found that when I make a routine and when I stick to a routine, it's just a lot easier to stick to it and get stuff done that way, as opposed to just going with the flow and saying, okay, I'm gonna study as soon as I take my shower, and then the next day being like, okay, well, I took my shower, but instead of studying right away, I'm gonna get on my phone first. Like, have a set routine so that you don't even allow yourself the room to jeopardize your priorities and the things that you need to do first. Always put things on the list from your highest priority to your least priorities, like what you need to get done to what you could do maybe tomorrow or in a couple of days or something like that, if that makes sense. So always make a routine, whether that be a morning routine of how you get ready in the morning, how you're gonna study, how your afternoon is gonna go. Make a routine and stick to that routine always, because it just always helps, I promise. My next tip for you guys is to get a calendar. I actually just got done filming a what's in my backpack video, so be sure that you guys check that video out. But because I just filmed that video, I have my backpack right here and I keep my calendar in my backpack, so this is perfect. But this is my calendar, my planner. It's just a 2021 planner. I'm going to be needing a new one very soon, but this is my planner. This is a lifesaver. I'm one of those people who needs to write things down in order for me to remember, in order for me to get them done. I feel like if I took the time to write it down, then I might as well go ahead and get it done, because I said I would do it. I told myself that I would do it. I wrote it down on this piece of paper that I was going to be doing this today, so let me hold myself accountable and go ahead and do it. It's just a mind thing. A lot of people say that writing things down help them to get it done, help them to feel more productive, and honestly it does make you feel more productive. And I like this calendar specifically. I'm just going to go ahead and show y'all a blank page. I like this calendar specifically because it has your weekly spreads, it has your goal for the week at the top, and daily you can write certain things like what you did morning, afternoon, and evening. It says it right here at the top. And then it also has a little chart where you put your mood and other things like that. And so this is a really good planner. And now some people say, well, I don't have the time to sit and write things down like that. And honestly, for the people that have stuff to say like that, I say that you have no excuse, because you have a calendar right here on your phone where you can put stuff in and put reminders. My calendar is full. I'm always inserting certain things on my calendar. If maybe my planner is too far away and I need to write something down right now that I need to remember, I'm going to insert it on my calendar or on my reminders on my phone, just so that I don't forget. And those apps are super duper helpful. So if you're one of those people that feel like you don't have the time to write something in a planner, write it down on your phone. You have no excuse. Use your calendar, use your planner, whatever, use it. It's just going to help you remember stuff and get things done on time when they need to get done. So if you have a planner, use it. If you don't, use the one on your phone. My next tip for you guys is to plan your outfits the night ahead. Now, I have had plenty of days where I'm in a rush and I need to run out the door, but I hold myself up an extra 5-10 minutes just because I didn't have my outfit picked out. We don't have time for that, y'all. Pick your outfit the night ahead. I promise it takes a lot of stress off of you. You can just throw your outfit on in the morning, head out the door. This works so much better than trying to throw an outfit together the morning of. So all year I've just been trying my best to plan my outfits the night ahead, take them out the night before, and it just helps so much. It works so much better, and I recommend that all of you guys do that because it just takes so much stress off of you. You will thank me later. Next, do your homework as soon as you get home. Now I know that some schools don't give out homework as much as they used to, and sometimes if you're in middle school or high school, your teachers won't really give you homework as much either. But if you do have homework, which I have homework like all the time, it's best to do it as soon as you get home. And when I say as soon as you get home, I don't mean just come through the door, sit down and do your work. No, take a shower if you need to, eat dinner if you need to, get a drink if you need to, get a snack if you need to, but immediately after, go ahead and do your work. This is going to help you so much more because it isn't giving you room to procrastinate, and I will be the first to admit I procrastinate sometimes. So if I do my work as soon as I get home, I don't have any room to procrastinate. I'm like, okay, this is what I have to do. I'm on it. I'm going to get it done so that I have the rest of my afternoon to do whatever it is that I want to do, to relax, to recuperate, and get ready for the next day at school. And it just helps so much more than to just go home, scroll on the phone for a little minute, and then the next thing you know, it's 10 o'clock and I haven't done my work. Do your work as soon as you get home so that you can just have the rest of the afternoon to do whatever it is that you want to do. It helps, I promise. The next tip that I have for you guys kind of goes along with homework, but it is to start studying 2 to 3 nights ahead of your test. Y'all, this may seem like something small, but I promise this is probably the most crucial thing that I'm telling you. When you have a test and you start studying at least 2 nights ahead of the test, not only does it help you to remember things and not rush and be like, oh, I need to get this done, I need to remember all of this information in 3 hours. It helps you to spread out the things that you're learning so your brain has a better time to process it. You're seeing it more than one time, so your memory on it is a little bit better. Not only is it going to help your brain better absorb the knowledge you've acquired, but it's also going to help you be less stressed when it comes time to actually take the test. And when I say study 2 or 3 days ahead, I mean regular tests that you're taking in school, like chapter tests, not big tests that you need to be studying weeks in advance for. No, I'm just talking about little chapter tests. Study them 2 to 3 days ahead of time to help you to be familiar with it, and just so that you can be less stressed overall, and to also ensure that you do well on the test. And when I say study, I don't mean study long and hard for hours and hours at a time. I mean study for like 10 to 15 minutes a day beforehand, and then when it comes to the actual night before, you can go ahead and do your like hour or 2 hours of studying, but it won't even be that hard because you already familiarized yourself with it, so you'll already know it. And that is a way that you can guarantee yourself that you're going to do well on your test. My next tip is to always get a good night's sleep. I don't care if you have all this homework due, if you have 3 tests in the morning, and I say that because I have 3 tests to take tomorrow, LOL. Actually, it's 4 tests that I have to take tomorrow, but still, always make sure that you get a good night's rest. Now, we may not get the full 8 hours, but make sure you get at least 7.5 or 7. We should not be losing sleep just because we got tests to take or all of that. You need rest. Your body is not going to function properly if you don't have the proper amount of rest. So get you a good 7 hours. I don't care if you have all these things to study. I don't care. The teacher will understand. Express your issues, your concerns. Most of the time, you will have those understanding teachers that get it. They will understand that you didn't have the time to study. Now, obviously, this isn't going to work every single time you need to take a test. You need to be properly prepared, and you don't need to be trying to stay up all hours of the night just to study for a a test. This kind of goes into the last tip that I gave you guys, making sure that you study 2 to 3 nights ahead so that you're familiar with it, so that you aren't sacrificing sleep to try to make sure that you know these things. Because honestly, trying to rush and study like that and trying to like do it without any breaks, losing sleep, all of that, you're gonna jeopardize yourself anyway. Like, it's almost like a lose-lose situation, because your brain isn't going to be functioning properly if you don't get a good night's rest. So make sure you get sleep. It's very important. Muy importante. My next tip is to make sure that you clean out and organize your backpack at least once a week. This will help you be able to access things easier and be able to find certain things that you may need easier. It's also going to help you when you're at school. It's going to help you to not lose things as often, because I know those people that are constantly losing things out their backpack and things like that. But if your backpack was cleaned out and organized and you know exactly where things are, you'll be less likely to lose things. You'll be more likely to keep up with important things and things that you need to look over and stuff like that. So just always be responsible about those types of things. I'm a senior this year. Most of you guys watching this video are probably going to be like middle school and up. We aren't little kids anymore. Clean out your backpack. That should come with being more mature. Clean your backpack out. Don't have 1,000,001 things in your backpack and not be able to find something that you need, especially when it's something that you need to study and look over. Clean your backpack out. My next tip is to always make a friend in every single class. And no, I'm not saying that this person has to be your best buddy or whatever, but at least make an acquaintance in every single class that you're going to take. This is very important for those of us who may miss school from time to time. I will never be one of those people who have like perfect attendance all year round. Over the years, I have dealt with certain health issues. Life happens. I may need a mental health day, whatever, and those things are very important to my mom. If ever there's a time that I can't go to school, I need a mental health day, if I am struggling with a certain health issue at the time, my mom has always been very adamant about taking a day if you need one. Life is too short. Take care of yourself before anything else. And also, I'm a student that stays on top of my work. I'm not one to really get behind, so if ever I did need to miss a day or so, it will always be easy for me to make up my work and catch back up, because I'm not typically behind. You get what I'm saying? So this is when it becomes important for you to have a friend in all of your classes, because if you need some makeup work, or let's say they took notes in class or something, you can always shoot that friend a text message and be like, hey, do you have the notes for this day or this chapter? Can you send them to me? I'm in school this day and I need to make up my work. And then 9 times out of 10 they'll be able to help you out, and it's just easier for you to catch up that way. So always be sure to make a friend or some type of acquaintance in your class to help you if you ever needed to miss a day or something like that. My next tip is to always keep a folder so that you can keep up with your important documents and things that you might need to get signed. Now, as you get older, being in high school or even middle school, you won't need to get things signed as often. I almost never have to get anything signed by my parents unless it's like the very first day of school and we have to get, you know, all of our registration and stuff done. That's a little bit different. But as far as like report cards and things goes, progress reports, you don't really have to get those things signed when you get older. But let's say you have a permission slip or something of that nature that you might need to get signed or that you need to see again and remember. You need to keep a folder so that you can hold those documents and papers and things like that in that folder. I know with me being in certain clubs like student council, beta club, there's always something that I need to keep up with, something that I need to remember. Often for student council we get like newsletters and stuff for things that we're going to be doing throughout the month and things like that, and it's very easy to forget those things when you're consumed in all your classes and doing your work and stuff like that, and then trying to have a little bit of a personal life. It can be very easy to forget those things, so it's very important that I have a folder that I can always refer back to and look in there and see, oh, I have this to do in 2 days, I have this to do on this day, you know. So keep a folder so that you can keep up with things like that, because it is going to be very important. You don't want to be that person that's always losing things, always forgetting stuff, because then you miss out on certain things and activities and events that could be very fun that you don't want to miss out on, especially if it's something where you can get out of class or leave school. I'm always down for those types of things. So make sure that you keep a folder so that you can have those things with you at all times. My 10th tip that I have is always try to complete assignments before they're due if you can. As I told you guys earlier, I always like to be on top of my work, and if I can work ahead, I'm going to work ahead in order to take more stress off of myself and to give myself more free time. I'm all about my free time, and if I can go ahead and get all the stuff that I need to do out of the way now so that I can have the rest of my week off to chill, then that is what I'm going to do. So I know a lot of places nowadays are doing things digitally. My school in particular is using technology a lot more lately, just in case someone has to be quarantined and stuff like that. They always have most of our work uploaded to Google Classroom, and some of my friends take college classes, and in those classes most of the time all the work is like posted and you can work at your own speed basically. If you can do that, if you have the time, I recommend going ahead and getting as many assignments done as you can before they're due, because the last thing you want is to wait last minute to do certain things and then be out of luck when that time comes for that certain assignment to be due, and then like you rush on it and make a super bad grade. You never want that to happen. You always want to work ahead if you can. So that is what I always recommend. And my last and final tip is kind of like a bonus one, because I said that I would be giving 10 tips, but this is kind of 11. This is more geared toward my freshmen, and it is to ask for a bell schedule if you can. So a lot of times if you're a freshman, you're going to a new bigger high school, you may be merging with other different schools, and it's going to be very unfamiliar to you. So what I recommend doing is going to the office or going to the principal, the counselor, the person who sits at the desk, ask for a bell schedule. I promise this will help you get to your classes on time. It will help you to know when you get a break. It will help you to know when those bells are going to ring, especially if you don't know where a class is. If you get a bell schedule, you can put where a certain class is, something to help you remember what that specific class is onto the bell schedule, and it's just going to make your life so much better. I transferred schools when I was in the 8th grade, and when I got to my new school, one of the first things that we asked for was a bell schedule, and it changed my life. So when I went to high school a few months later, I also asked for a bell schedule, and it was so helpful. I kept it like on the front of my binder throughout the whole year, and it just helped me so much. So I always recommend freshmen and new students to get a bell schedule if you can. Usually they have them like posted throughout the school and stuff like that, but it just always helps if you have it right there in front of you. So yes, that is what I recommend. Okay guys, and that is the end of this video. I really hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope you guys learned something. I hope that it was helpful to you in some way, shape, or form. If it was, be sure to give this video a thumbs up, and also subscribe to my channel down below if you haven't subscribed already. As always, I love you guys all so much, and I really hope to see you in my next video. And that is all. Bye guys. Mwah.